Hey, what's up everyone? Paul from Grindhouse Funhouse, and today is a collection update for January 2020. So this will encompass October, November, December, and this month. So Happy New Year, first of all, even though it's quite late in the month to say that, according to Larry David. If you've seen the new Curb Your Enthusiasm season, the first episode. But I bought quite a few movies, a fair amount. I always say that, a fair amount of movies. Also a lot of soundtracks, a lot of vinyl soundtracks. And this time around, I wanted to do, like I did last time, in the first videos I did for the channel, was a soundtrack collection update, like kind of like an overview of everything I had. So I kind of want to do a video of everything I got since that first video. And then I'm gonna show you all the new soundtracks I bought during like Black Friday and then Christmas, stuff I got as presents, and also for Boxing Day. So be on the lookout for that. It'll be the next videos if I get around to do them, and I should right after this one. So I partaked in the sale for on Black Friday for MVD Group. They always do a great sale for Black Friday, especially for us Canadians. The shipping is low and the prices are quite good. So I bought, I believe, 10 titles, which I get to show you. I also I had done an order with Second Spin, and I was waiting for that order to come in. I ordered it on December 4th, so that's why it took so long to do this video. I was kind of like, I had like at least a dozen movies coming my way, and then I was waiting, and then I had to write to them to ask like, where the hell are my movies? And apparently Customs got the package and says was undeliverable, and then it got back to them without telling me. So great customer service right there. And so yeah, that kind of sucked because I lost all the good savings I would have done with that order. But no matter, I got plenty of other movies to show you. And also at the end, I'll show you a bunch of VHS that I found at one of my favorite flea markets here in Montreal, the Saint-Michel Flea Market. So let's get going, shall we? All right, so first two movies, they're Vinegar Syndrome titles, and this year I did not buy from the Black Friday sale. There wasn't enough titles I wanted to just like blind buy. It just wasn't worth it to me, so I only got two titles, and they came from my buddy Francis Lavoie, who has the Spooky Celluloid channel here on the YouTube. He went to Horrorama this year in Toronto at the end of November, beginning of December, which I went, but I'll try next year. But they always have like tables of movies there from all the labels, and I asked him to pick me up two titles for very good prices. The first one being Sudden Fury, which is a Ken exploitation title from 1974. This is about a man who helps a dying woman in a car accident, and then whose husband left her in the car to die. And the husband finds out what happened, and then he goes after the man and his lady, and then craziness ensues. So this is one of those Ken exploitation that I was not aware of, and it took Vinegar Syndrome to put the light on this movie. I'm going to show you right here. And I cannot wait to watch it. I haven't had a chance to, but it's definitely one of those titles in the Ken exploitation era that I wanted to check out, and it's something I'm trying to get more into because I want to kind of like specialize in that genre. I know a good chunk, but I need to go deeper, and this is definitely Sudden Fury, one of those titles I want to get into. And then the other title I got is first of all, this is the best packaging of all year of Blu-ray that I got. It's just for this kind of movie, like, why? First of all, why? But it's just so cool. It's Hell Comes to Frogtown right here, starring the awesome Roddy Piper right here. And look at this cool package right here. This does not go off, but you get the Blu-ray in the box right here, as you can see, which I think is very cool design. All this for a movie about a man that it's in a post-apocalyptic world that women wants his Mancy to repopulate, the world after this apocalyptic event. And it's one of the cheesier B movies from the 80s. This came out in 87 or 88. And I've seen it like a few years back, and it was okay. But just from looking at this and this package, it makes me want to watch it again. So really cool of Vinegar Syndrome to put all their efforts into this wicked package, which I really dig. So these are the two titles from Vinegar Syndrome. Up next, I want to show you a Christmas gift I got, which was very thoughtful. The title was on my wish list for the last year, and it was one of the Scream Factory titles I have been wanting the most since I heard about it, and it is The Legend of the Seven Golden Vampires. It stars Peter Cushing, and it came out in 1974. It's a Black Belt versus Black Magic. So basically, this is a collaboration between Hammer Studio and Shaw Studio. So basically, horror from British horror and all those kung fu movies from the 70s from the Shaw brothers. This came out, like I said, in 1974, and they only did 2 movies collaborating together, those studios. This one and Shatter, starring Stuart Whitman, which will also come out in a couple of months, thanks to the deal Shout Factory made with, I believe, Hammer Studio and the Shaw Brothers. So we'll get to see it. This also goes by the title Seven Brothers Meet Dracula. Look at this beautiful poster right here, or right here. It just from the trailer alone, mixing Dracula and kung fu movies is just batshit crazy enough to work. I'm dying to see this. I haven't had the chance to crack it open yet. All I know is this was the last Dracula movie in the series of Hammer films. And I mean, like, what a way to go. Like a total mix of those genres. I cannot wait to check it out. Looks nuts. After this, I'm going to show you the stuff I bought on Amazon.ca. I rarely buy from them because usually their deals are not that good. Everything that's on my wish list, all like the Scream Factory titles, they always hover around $25-30, and that's pretty much the same price everywhere else. Like, it's hard to get good deals, as you know, on those titles. But on one title in particular, on Black Friday, somehow it went down, and it's one I've been wanting since it came out, and that is Creepshow right here, the classic Creepshow, the anthology horror movies directed by George A. Romero and Stephen King, obviously. This is an amazing set. First of all, the slipcase for this is gorgeous, and it matches, where is it? It matches with the Creepshow 2 Harrow video set I have right here. This is the Canadian version. I believe there were only like 1,000 titles made of this one, and yes, I do have one. It's one of the prized possession in my collection, and you get a little booklet right here with all fun facts that you must know, and obviously get the Blu-ray. This is the original cover, and I don't have to tell you much about this movie. It is a classic horror movie, classic of the genre, especially for anthology. So yes, I got Creepshow right here, and then for the remaining Amazon titles I got, I'm trying to get all the Andy Sedaris movies. Since Mill Creek announced, I think it was a year ago, that they had the right to release everything from his catalog, They've been at least releasing 3 movies every, I want to say 2-3 months. I got 4 this time around, and there's 6 movies left in his entire filmography. And in March, the next 2 titles that's going to come out are, I believe, Hard Hunted and Fit to Kill. And if you don't know Andy Sedaris, his movies, he's got a series of movies called the Triple B movies, which is Bullets, Boobs, and Babes, or Bombs, I should say. But also boobs. They should have, added that in there. And, there's like Playboy Playmates that star in those, like Donna Spears, Hope Mary Carlton, and Roberta Vasquez. Oh, beautiful, beautiful ladies. So I got these 4 titles right here. First one being Picasso Trigger, which I believe came out in 87, probably 87. And it's... everything you see on the cover is pretty much what it is, the movie. Everything's shot in Hawaii. It's all like beautiful vistas, beautiful women, people shooting at each other. The plot is you don't really need a plot for these kind of movies. It's not really really important. I think it's the point of the movies, but this one's a pretty good one in the series. Up next, we got Savage Beach. Again, this time around with Donna Spear and Omar Coltrane as the stars of the movie. Again, not the best movie in the world, but a fun watch. And then you got the movie Guns, starring Eric Estrada as the star. I haven't gone to that one yet, but I'm sure it is a quality pictures. And then finally, for the 4 I've bought, we got Mr. Miyagi starring in this, Do or Die, Pat Morita. Again, I haven't got to this one yet, but I'm sure he brought his A game for this movie. Why not? I mean, Andy Sedaris, you must bring your A game for his movies. So there you go, Do or Die. Up next are the title from the MVD Group Black Friday sale. I believe I bought, how many now? 10 titles. They're all numbered, but I'm not one of those like I need to get all titles from the Blu-ray line from that MVD Rewind collection. I don't care. Like if there's titles I don't want, I will not buy that. I am not ruled by those numbers, but I pretty much have them all. I think there's like 3 missing in the whole line, but those I just like couldn't care less. So let's get started with DOA, A Rite of Passage, which is as I say, a groundbreaking classic documentary about the origin of punk rock. I know nothing of the movie, but or the documentary, but it looked very interesting, and I said to myself, why not? And again, it was really cheap. I think all of them I bought. I paid like $12 each, and they're usually especially here in Canada, like $25-$30. So when I say it's a good sale, it's a good sale. So yeah, I got this one, and then I got Attack of Killer Tomatoes, which is cheesy good from the 80s, or 1978, I should say. This one is missing the slipcover, sadly. So if you're a fan of this channel and you have the slipcover and you don't want it and you want to give it to me, or at least sell it, I will take it off your hands for Attack of the Killer Tomatoes. Up next, I got a Jim Wynorski film. And if you don't know him, his most famous movie is Chopping Mall, which if you're a fan of horror, 80s horror, you must watch that movie. And it's the return of Swamp Thing, starring Heather Locklear. So you got right here, the return of Swamp Thing. Up next, I've always been a Michael J. Fox fan. It's been him and Bill Murray from the 80s on up. Those, every time there's a movie, I remember as a kid I was always go see him in those movies. I pretty much want his entire filmography from the 80s and 90s. And this one is Bright Lights, Big City, where he plays, I believe, was it like a cokehead or something? Like he's an aspiring writer in Manhattan, and then the subculture seduces him. And it's one of those 80s movies with all the excess, like money, drugs, and all that fun stuff. It stars Kiefer Sutherland, Phoebe Cates. It's one of those that I never got to see. So it's fun to I still got like 80s movies of Michael J. Fox that I've yet to see. So Bright Lights, Big City, right here. Up next is Nemesis, cyborg movies from the early 90s, directed by Alper Pyong, who's the master of these kind of movies. Just go look at his filmography. It is littered with these kind of movies, starring Olivier Grenier, a Frenchman. Never seen it, but I know of it, and I said, like, I'm gonna give it a chance. Nemesis. Up next, I don't know why I bought this, honestly, but yeah, what the hell. Double Dragon, starring Robert Patrick as the bad dude, Mark the Cascus, blah, 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 that one, and then Scott Wolf, Mr. Party of Five, if you remember back in the day, obviously based on the video game from the 90s. Will it be good? I don't know. I know of it. I've seen the trailer. I have not much hope for it, but you know, why not? Why not? I got it. Up next, another one of those like kickboxing, karate, kung fu, whatever you might call it, from the early 90s. And it is Showdown, starring Billy Blanks, of Taibo back in the day, if you remember those VHS exercise tapes from back in the day. I'm sure this is one of those other classics from the genre, and I want to give it a shot. So Showdown right here. Up next, more Nemesis, 2, 3, and 4. Can you believe they went up to 4? And I believe there's a 5th one too, somewhere out there, all directed by Alper Pyong. Good on him. Got a full series of Nemesis movies out there for us to enjoy. Up next, another blind buy starring Mako, Bubba Smith, Terry O'Quinn. It is My Samurai, which I don't know much about, but looks pretty cool in the trailer. So why not? Why not My Samurai? I don't know. Why not? And then this movie, I know it came out in 1991. It is Jean-Claude Van Damme, or Van Damme. It is Double Impact, playing twin brothers, and it's one of those I've not seen of Jean-Claude, and I cannot wait to see it. It's directed by Sheldon Latish, who did many of those kind of movies back in the late 80s, early 90s. So I'm very happy to get Double Impact, and I will watch it soon. And finally, the last Blu-ray I got in those last 3 months, and this I got a few days before Christmas. I saw a special on eBay, and it's a title I wanted to buy when it came out. I think it was last June. It is from Grindhouse Releasing. It is an Umberto Lenzi movie, and it is The Tough Ones, also known as Assault with a Deadly Weapon and Brutal Justice. This stars Maurizio Merli and Thomas Milian. It is one of those poliziotteschi, which is a crime, Italian crime movie from the 70s. And this came out in 1976. This is a 3-disc deluxe edition, 2 Blu-rays and a CD. And when it comes to Grindhouse Releasing, I got a few titles right here. Got Pieces and the Duke Mitchell collection. They do not skimp out on the extras. In fact, they take their sweet times in between releasing titles, because they take such good care in their presentation. Just look at this very beautiful emboss. Just the cover of this alone is beautiful. It's my other favorite package of this year with Hell Comes to Frogtown. And just look at the special features alone. We got the original unrated, uncensored director's cut. It's a new 4K resolution. There's even the option in Italian if you want to watch it in its original language. You got the soundtrack. You got an audio commentary from Mike Malloy, who did the Eurocrime documentary. And if you want to know more about Poliziotteschi's movies, that genre of film, definitely check out this great documentary. Look at this, it's just amazing. And like I said, like another cover of the movie. You got right here the cover for Brutal Justice, the other title of the movie. And you also got, the soundtrack on CD. Maybe someday they'll release it on vinyl, and I'll be the first one to get it. But yeah, the tough ones. I know it's definitely, I believe, in the top 5 of Politieski's titles. And again, it's another genre I want to really want to get into, because they don't shy away from violence. Some of them are really brutal movies, and even the stuff that wouldn't get away with it today, just the way they treat the women in these movies, it's not always the best, let's just put it this way. But you got some really cool action scenes, and you could tell some of those sometimes they really just didn't give a fuck, filming around Rome or some Italian countryside, just the way they were just shooting on the fly and stuff like that. So yeah, man, the tough ones right here. All right, last thing I want to show you are VHS titles I bought a couple weeks ago at the Saint-Michel flea market, which is one of our best flea markets here in the city of Montreal, because usually if you want to do your flea marketing, you have to go outside of. And I found 7 titles, 7 films, all blind buys. Well, actually, that's not true. 2 of them I knew of that I wanted to get, because most of them, if not all, I believe, are only on VHS releases, which this is my jam. I love that stuff. As you may know, I've done a few reviews of only on VHS titles. You could go and check back. I have a few more I want to do. I want to keep continuing doing that series, because I think it's really fun, and I get to share titles that probably some people never heard of and will probably never see either on DVD or Blu-ray or even streaming. Maybe on Amazon Prime you might get it'll release it on HD. So for some reason it's really always odd when you can't even be bothered to release it on, like, say, Blu-ray, but somehow make a new transfer for like Amazon Prime. I don't know how the hell that works, but all right, so enough with the rambling. First title is True Blood, and not the True Blood you're thinking of, but this True Blood, which the tagline is "Revenge is the only ticket out," and it stars Chad Lowe of the Lowe Brothers. We've got who else do we got on here? Jeff Fahey, of course. James Tolkien, who played the what was it, like the principal in Back to the Future, the bald dude, just to place him. Sheldon Fenn and Billy Drago, and yeah, this looks like something. No, but just with that cheesy looking cover, I'm down for it. Up next is Gunpowder, which is a British movie, I do believe, which came out in 1986. It's an espionage thriller in the James Bond tradition. So says the back right here. So I'll take their word for it for Gunpowder. Up next is like one of those Homeboys movies from the 80s. And it's titled Street Soldiers. And I believe came out in the late 80s, early 90s. It's about a vicious street gang against a group of local high school students who band together to put an end to the gang's reign of terror. So yeah, why not? I'm all about that kind of shit. So we got that. Up next, we got Deadly Surveillance, which I believe is a TV movie that was shot actually right here in Montreal back in 1990, and it stars Michael Ironside. And who doesn't love Michael Ironside? I know I do. And this is definitely one of those, and it's definitely never been on DVD or Blu-ray, and I'm definitely gonna do a review of this. Looks cheesy enough to, like, I want to spend 90 minutes on this, and that's what I'll do. Up next is a cut box of Chains, which this is one of the movies I knew about that I wanted. Think of a movie like Judgment Night or The Warriors. It's one of those movies at night where some people go into a territory that are not supposed to be there, and then a gang will go after them to kill them and get them out of their territory. It looks like it would make a great triple bill with Judgment Night and The Warriors and all those kind of movies. So I cannot wait to review this one, and I will eventually. Up next is No Place to Hide. No Place to Hide with Chris Christopherson Drew Barrymore and Martin Landau. It's one of the earlier movies from Drew Barrymore in her like wild phase, like around like Poison Ivy, you know, those movies. Funny enough, never came out on DVD or Blu-ray, so it's one of those lost movies, and it is a Canon video release, as you can see right here, Canon. So you know it's good shit always with Canon. So can't wait to check that one out. And finally, another blind buy. It is called The Lawless Land, and this came out in 1988. Only 80 minutes long, and it stars Xander Berkeley, was in Terminator 2. And you got Leon, I'm sure you might remember him. And then I bought it for Amanda Peterson, who was my 80s movie crush back in the day. Amanda Peterson, might remember her. She's the blonde girl in Can't Buy Me Love, the love interest of Patrick Dempsey. But I remember her as the love interest of Ethan Hawke in his first movie, Explorers, the Joe Dante movie, one of my favorites. And sadly, she's no longer with us. She passed away a few years ago. She had a pretty hard life, but this is one of the movies I never knew existed, and it's from the 80s, and it stars, and she is the stars of it. So I cannot wait to check it out. Looks like it could be something. I don't know. I'll have to watch it and let you know. And the very last thing I will show you, and I always do this at the end of these videos, and it's the new Fangoria. The new Fangoria issue, which is the volume 2 issue 5, which is the January issue, but they have a Christmas, you know, theme on the cover. And in the issue, you have they're talking about Black Christmas, the new reimagining that came out back in December. The Invisible Man, which is the new movie from what's his name? The guy that did Upgrade, my favorite movie of last year. James Wynell, something like that. Looks interesting. And Daniel Isn't Real, which I saw at Fantasia last summer, and it's a great little thriller about an imaginary friend of a guy that's not quite there in his mind. But yeah, the new Fangoria title, which is good stuff. So that is it for the January 2019 collection update. All right, so you know the drill. Like, share, subscribe. Click on that tiny little bell so you'll never miss a new video from me. Check out my Instagram feed at Grindhouse Funhouse, where I post on the daily about all things cult and underground cinema. In the comment section below, let me know what you got on Black Friday, on Christmas, Kwanzaa, Hanukkah, any holiday you celebrate, from your friends, family, your family dog. You know, fuck man, just let me know what you got. My next videos will be about my soundtracks on vinyl. First video will be everything I got since those first videos I did of the collection I had back then. I think it was August 2018 up to now, so January 2020. Every titles I bought since then, and the other video will be all the new shit I bought since October to now. So if you're into my videos about soundtracks on vinyl, then you'll be blessed. You'll love it. You'll can get enough of that stuff. So thank you for watching. Always appreciate you watching and commenting on the stuff I do. It's much appreciated. And until then, I will say to you, ciao bye for now.